the satellite. They have satellite uplink. Satellite reset. We have the satellite drone. Satellite uploaded. Satellite reset. Our team has the satellite.
Can you believe that that's what happened after I got the nuclear on Uplink? This gameplay was amazing. What's going on, guys? Great Disciple back with another video. In the background, you are watching my very first time playing Uplink on the map Empire. Now, let me just say this right off the bat. Before the map started, I always, especially on the new DLC maps, I look at where the flags are, or the positions, the goals are for Uplink, and where the ball is. And then based on that, I assume the traffic. Now, looking at where the ball was and where the goals were, I figured the majority of the action would take place around the ring. If y'all know what I mean, around B-Dom. But for some reason, the enemy team played on the water side in the first half. Even though I got a lot of kills, they ended up scoring a lot of points because my team could not hold them off on the water side. Going into the second half, I already had a relentless medal, just so you guys know. Now, let me talk about my setup a little bit because it's completely different. And that's what the point of this video is. I'm decent at core. I'm a lot better at hardcore now because obviously I put more time into it. But, I started playing core again primarily because of Safeguard, and I was going for the hero gear, and I kind of fell in love with it. Now, when you're playing Safeguard, there's a few things that you really don't have to worry about. And that is, number one being Sound Horde. You don't have to worry about UAVs, and even using an unsuppressed weapon because the game type is so chaotic. And for some reason, I just kept using my Safeguard class in pretty much every single core game mode, which is a huge mistake. So here's what I started thinking the other day, and I was like, you know what? Let me go back to play the way I used to play in Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, and Ghost. So what I did was I put a suppressor on my weapon, I put on Ghost, and then I put on Dead Silence and Awareness. And I played like I normally would play in these older core maps, and ever since I did that, the gameplays are so easy to come by because I'm not showing up all the time on the map. Now, I will say this. I really, really wish I could run Hardwired because I find that is one of the most needed perks in the core mode because it offsets Tracker and Sixth Sense, trip mines don't affect you, and shock charges, and those things can get on my nerves. But in the long run, I feel like I need Scavenger more, and the main reason is this. When you run a suppressor in the core mode, it takes a lot of bullets to kill a guy. And so I chew through a ton of ammo, so I'm kind of forced to run Scavenger. Now, as for the sound perks, I'm running Dead Silence and Awareness. Now, I'm noticing Awareness, and I've said this before, doesn't do as much as it used to do, alright? And I'll agree with you guys on that. And I kind of feel like getting rid of Awareness and putting on Blast Suppressor, because even though I don't jump around like crazy like a lot of other people do, when I do jump, I can tell that the smarter players pick up on it and they turn and they come back to me, especially on the flank. When I flank and I jump, the smarter players will come and meet me head on. So something to think about. I think that'll probably go into my setup. Now on the Kuda that I'm running is the suppressor, stock, and fast mags. Now there is a chance I may get rid of the stock. If you go all the way back to when I got my nuke downs, and this was like a month or two into the game, that Kuda setup with just fast mags and the suppressor was all I needed in order to get the nuke out. And I had run with so many different setups using stock and quick draw and all these different things, so there's a chance that I may get rid of the stock, just run Kuda with fast mag suppressor, and then my perk loadout will be Ghost, Scavenger, Hardwired, Dead Silence, and Blast Suppressor. Probably the most OP setup I can think of in the game. Now, I didn't set out in this game to get a nuclear, I just want you to know that. I had no idea what to expect, to be quite honest with you, and I should have died at two spots in this. As for score streak, I was running UAV just so I could find out where everybody was in the map. The Hardened Sentry, because on Uplink, I think the Hardened Sentry is one of the most dominant kill streaks in the game. And then the Wraith. Wraith is just for overhead coverage, and I wanted to get some kills, you know what I mean? So, I mean, the streak is insane, and then after the streak, you know, once I hit the nuclear, I get 15 unstoppable medals, and it's just craziness. They were spawning all around me, and since I had the suppressor, they had no idea where I was in the map. I gotta tell you guys, this DLC 3, is probably the best DLC I have ever played on in any Call of Duty offering to date. I mean, every single map has got something new and interesting about it. Rumble's kind of like grind and berserk. It's got that throwback Viking Game of Thrones feel. And then, I mean, Empire to me is even better than Raid in so many ways. And then Cryogen is really starting to grow on me. I mean, I'm really liking Cryogen as well. In fact, these should have been in the core offerings of the maps. I don't even want to go back and play the old maps. I just want to play these. It's been great. I've really been enjoying myself. I'm curious as to what you guys think about the DLC, because I know a lot of you weren't going to get an opportunity to play it until this last weekend. So I really want to know what y'all think. I'm sure y'all ran into a lot of tryhards, because there's usually a bunch of them on there the weekend after the DLC comes out, because DLC usually comes out on a Tuesday, and then by the weekend everybody's on there playing it, and they've seen YouTubers playing it, so they understand rotation. So I'm curious of what you thought about it, and you probably even dealt with some lag too, because when everybody starts jumping onto these DLC servers, it gets a little wonky, you know what I mean? So I hope you guys like the gameplay. Try out my Kuda setup. I'm going to keep experimenting with it because I want to find like a really go-to setup when I play core. I'm still a hardcore guy at heart, and I'll keep on grinding out those gameplays, but I'm getting more into the core mode because it's easier to get lobbies in the core mode, especially with the DLC playlist, because I'm falling in love with it, like I said. As always, if you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button because it helps my channel. Leave a comment down below if you got a question, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe because I know that you want to.